This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, this is an important class. I don't know why I'm joined. Anyway, so coming to the basic of the course, so I just wanted to, give you the whole outline because of I didn't prepare the slide so far, so I thought it would be a bit of a messy. So I prepared some script, so some small slides, so to understand what we are actually discussing in the class and what we are actually working on it. So basically, we actually gone with Terraform basics, which is about what is Terraform is about, how to why we use Terraform, and what are the basic syntax of the Terraform. Okay, so I believe yesterday we have already, I think the first class, we already created a small Terraform script, okay, which creates an EC2 instance in AWS. Now, I believe before that we already discussed why Terraform is, it's a, it's not cloud specific. It's not actually provider specific, but it is cloud. It is actually cloud agnostic. So basically, if you use Terraform, you can work with the same code base, maybe changing a bit of provider modules, but you can actually use almost the similar logic structure to deploy the same on any cloud infrastructure. So it
Okay.
is something, if I am actually creating an infrastructure by using Terraform on AWS, I have the code base. Now it is almost the similar for me to actually convert my code base to Azure. I'm not going to waste 30 days or 40 days on it. Maybe
Oh,
hardly 1 to 2 days of work. That's what basic Terraform actually excels at, because it is cloud agnostic. Now, currently, cloud is growing at a very fast pace, but in future, we believe that just like data centers before, where we have one data center, another data center, and price game actually matters a lot.
hmm.
Likewise, even though the cloud utilization of cloud will change in such a fashion that uh, you take a service from a cloud and you take another service from another cloud and you build your app. So your application is basically runs on multi-cloud. It's not a single specific cloud. It's about utilizing the cutting edge technology of each cloud. Example, for AWS we have something called Lambda. For Azure we have something called functions. Okay, so
Okay.
both work the same. Both are same services. Both are serverless. Both actually just required code to run. And but the when you actually see the price game, Amazon actually charges you almost 3 times of Azure billing.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
it also provides Azure also provides reliability. But one thing is Azure orchestration is slower compared to AWS. That depends on what is your frequency of updating your applications and how much downtime you can have. If you are a startup, then working with Azure is beneficial. But if you are actually a startup with a very vast technology stack, then AWS is beneficial because AWS provides managed services.
Right.
That's what the game is. So a lot of things will change, and the change is constant. But uh, the tools which adapt the change really matters a lot, and Terraform is one of it. So Terraform has the ability to utilize or let's say you know uh, implement the cloud specific abilities, especially towards automation, with the help of something called providers. So I believe last time we actually worked with Docker container. Okay. Second, in the Docker container, we just downloaded a file, right, in the first class by using a Terraform script. So likewise, if it is a Docker container, you use that particular script. But if you are actually working with AWS, you use a different script. But it's the logic or the way that you're going to work almost going to be the same, or maybe a little changing based on the ability of the provider. Now, So from provider to provider, things will change, but you can actually pick up the script very fast. Now, coming to the CLI, we already discussed about Terraform CLI. So Terraform CLI basically comprises around 5 to 6 commands. Do you remember any of them? Richa? Rohit? Can anybody tell me, do you remember any of them? What are some Terraform command line commands? Are you able to hear me, guys? My network is off. Okay, something bad. Guys,
We can hear you. Yeah,
okay, great. So Rohit, can you actually let me know how do you validate, or sorry, how do you plan a particular Terraform script? Okay, seems Rohit unable to speak, or maybe some kind of technical issue. So basically, there are, coming to command line, there are basically certain 4 to 5 commands. The first one is Terraform validate. The second one is Terraform plan. The third one is Terraform apply. Fourth, Terraform destroy. And there are some other 2 commands which actually checks the format of our code, that is Terraform fmt, and that's it. I believe 5 commands at max. So that's all about Terraform command line. But you also, so there are certain other commands like specific to graph of Terraform, but you rarely use it. Major most required commands are very important commands are this one. We already discussed them in yesterday's class. Okay, so this we already discussed about the basics of Terraform, which is related to why Terraform, how we can use Terraform, and basic commands of Terraform. Now we can go with building AWS infrastructure. So instead of going with AWS infrastructure, we discussed with the provider, we discussed with the help of what is the provider name? Docker provider. Okay, let me just open something for you. So I think we have something on. I don't know which node I have. I'm sorry.
Abdul, we can't see your screen.
Sorry. Didn't share it?
No.
Sorry. I'm going about 3 now. Oh, damn. I only move to left. Sorry guys, I think I lost the node. So let me hold them. So nonetheless, let's start working with them. So you can see that most of my work happens in VMs. Okay, so whatever I do, I don't disturb my host environment. I always work with the VM, with the Linux, and inside the Linux, I have the whole environment box. So currently, what we having? We're having a Linux box with AWS config set already. So I can show you a small how I actually work with. I believe that's also helpful for you in future if you start your job as a DevOps engineer. So I'm currently going inside my box. So this is a recent box I just prepared. So what's the main utilization of this box is I'm actually building some kind of Terraform code for blue-green deployment with some kind of client requirements. Okay, so these are all some modules I'm actually writing. So nonetheless, let's actually go with the basics one. So let me actually I have downloaded a small intro module, actually some small intro module. So let me just see. Okay, do we have Docker here? Okay, we have Docker as well. Good. So I can create for class module. Okay. Now, if you see, I can download any container by using Docker pull hello. If I do this, I will have the image, right? So I'm going to download this particular container, and if I check my Docker images, I have this particular container, but I can always delete this. So I don't want to do any kind of a command line based. I want this to be automated. So I have to write a script which actually utilizes Terraform. Now what I'm going to do is that Docker remove image hello world. I have removed it. We can verify from Docker images. Clear? Now what I'm going to here is that I'm going to touch a file called main.tf. So as I already told you, there are basically three different files in Terraform: main.tf, variables.tf, outputs.tf. Main.tf, variables.tf, outputs.tf. These are the main three files you will ever have in any Terraform scripts. So I'm going to create my main.tf. So I'm going to open my main.tf. Sorry. Okay. So when I open it, now it's your time to understand where are we here. So now I'm building infrastructure. Okay. So the first and foremost we discussed last time with the Terraform. Wait, I'm thinking about it. So these are the modules that we discussed, but just give me a second. I want to go with this loan package. So now you can actually listen to this. It's just a 3 minutes quick review. Okay, but remember what we are going to do. We are going to use a provider. Okay, so this is a really very good learning. It gives you comprehensive understanding of how we are building it. But Terraform is pretty much easier. So you have to use a provider. Now the step is, what kind of a provider are you using? If I'm using AWS, then my provider becomes AWS. If I'm using Docker, then mine is Docker. Now first we have to declare this provider. Okay, so if you see, provider. If you check provider, then this follows basically YAML script. Okay, remember this. Now you just need to follow AWS. Now inside the provider, is it AWS I have to use or a Docker? Which one we have to go? Let's go with the Docker. second plus one. Now inside the Docker, okay. Now when you want to use Docker, again you have to go to this group, not even here. So here something called providers will be there. Yeah. Inside this provider, we have to use what? If you're using AWS, then this is it. But let's go to different provider. Okay. Let's go to, it's all about AWS today. Yeah. So this is the provider. Here I'm going to search for Docker. You see, this is a Docker provider. So inside the Docker, we have how to work with this particular provider. So you just need to mention Docker, and you have to mention if you are actually running some kind of a habit 2376. Okay, so let's go with it. Okay. Yes. So now we have our host. So this can be a local host. Okay, it's not necessary number, but this is a standard port. So now I have this Docker host run. Good. Now next is the provider is set up. The first and foremost step is done. Okay, you're done with your provider. Now, if you go back, then we have to go with the provider related items. These are resources. Okay, so provider, this Docker also has resources. What are Docker resources? So Docker has basically 4 resources. The first one is container resource, image resource, network resource, and volume resource. So like in the last class, you have a container you want to download, okay, from your Docker hub registry. In such case, you have to use this resource. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's first download an image. This is already done in the last class, but I'm just giving it for a clear understand. Now you have to write this resource from here. Resource. Now you written resource, but what resource you are actually talking about? I'm talking about Docker resource. So this is a predefined, you can't change it. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is an image, and now you can name whatever the resource you want. Okay, so I can write whatever the resource that I want to download. So I said this is test resource. Now here inside the test resource, what exactly I want to achieve? That means what is the predefined command. So the name of the resource, the name of the Docker image that I'm going to download is this one. This is clear. The name of the Docker image I want to work with, okay, is name is this one. Now I'm going to work with name equal to, I'm going to work hello world. Clear. I hope these two are clear. So these are the main basic building blocks. If you understand resource, you understand provider, you almost got Terraform. Okay. So now I'm going to save this, and once you save, you have just a main file. Okay, you can check what's written there. Now what I want to do, okay, is that I written a Terraform script, but the first part is I have to initialize in this repo. What do you want to initialize? I want to initialize Terraform and prepare itself with the required modules. So Terraform, okay, init, untitled, and then see it's going to get initialized. While initializing, what exactly is doing? It is not downloading AWS, it is downloading Docker only. Very nice. Now we have a main dot here. Now we say this is first command we talked about. Terraform validate. You can check. It's a successful. Terraform. Sorry. FMP. It's gonna check what is the format. Now you don't really need to do Terraform FMP. It's only just for theory purpose. But validate is done. Now what you need to do, you need to plan. You need to see what happens if I do this. Saying that, hey, cannot connect the daemon. Is the daemon running? I think so. Okay. Okay, it's not working. Nonetheless, it shouldn't be a problem. So let me change the main script. That should be okay. You see, why I removed it? Okay, because my daemon is not really working, and I don't really want to, fix it first. I can actually still work with my Terraform because by default, the Terraform will be able to, download or work with my Docker image. So let me just say Terraform. And now when I say plan, it's already saying that, hey, I'm going to download this resource. That means the plan, you will add one resource. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, Terraform apply. When I do apply, okay, it's going to ask me, Eva, should I apply or not? So you say yes. But without even that, you can also say auto approve. This really helps you in writing your codes. Okay. When you do this, it's going to, it's downloading this image. Now if you check Docker images, you have hello world. So if I want to work with anything inside this Docker, I can simply work with Docker. Give me a second, I'm going to get my charger. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now so now we discussed about getting an infrastructure item up and running. So instead of Docker, if I change my AWS and add my AWS key, then that also works. So let me show you a small example. So I think let's go to okay. So if you check my main, okay. So here I'm using another resource, but the resource is specific to AWS infrastructure. So inside launch, I'm setting up all the required parameters. If any systems means that this launch config will get created. Okay. So the first one is LB. So, so this is the source, and the second one is ELB. So inside this ELB, again I define the required variables. Okay. So the name of the ELB is this one. And the submits, they come from variables. We're going to discuss a complete small deployment on AWS. Okay. Since AWS is underscore, okay, so we can plan with Azure, but again, you don't have the knowledge of AWS or Azure. So we can actually run this class, we can stop here. And once we get the sufficient knowledge of Azure, then we can actually work with the end class would be one more class on your Terraform, because it doesn't really make sense to teach you something that you don't even know. Okay, if that is acceptable, I think that that is a proper way. So I leave it to you. So if you still want one class right now, you can do that. But these are nothing but resources. That's all I want you to know about. So all these are different resources. Here the resource is elastical balancer.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
There is some problem in the audio. There is some problem in the Hello? Hello?
Yeah, can you tell me?
There is some problem. There is some problem in the audio. We can't hear you properly. We can't hear you properly.
There's a problem. That's right. Can you hear me now, guys?
Yeah, it's better.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying, let me repeat. Okay. So we have basically a resource here. Okay. So what is resource? It's just like an image. It's a specific component of AWS. So these are the parameters that is required to declare this resource. The first parameter is the prefix of the resource, then image ID, instance type, profile, name, security groups. All these are actually is defined inside the resource so that the resource can get created. So if you have any issues with the parameters, the resource will not get created. Remember that. So the resource is quite config. The best part for this resource related items would be secure provider. So this provider is for AWS. This is for AWS. My system suddenly got so slow. Guys, can you hear me? Hello?
I think there is
Guys,
some
can you hear me?
problem. No, not clearly. I think there is some problem. Clearly.
Yeah. Okay. Let's reconnect. Most of the basic things I covered in yesterday's class as well. But today I came up with a calculation. So we have another half an hour or 15 minutes class. Later on, we can jump onto our Azure. Okay. From mostly on Monday, we discuss mostly on one last class on Terraform. Okay. So it doesn't make sense to actually. So let's schedule this on some later time. Yeah. Bye bye.